is the Acura Integra Type S, and it is not just the Acura version of the Honda Civic Type R. Along with a lot of changes that Acura has made to make this vehicle feel more unique, it is the only hot hatch in the entire US automotive industry to come from a luxury automaker. So how well does the Integra Type S make the hot hatch luxurious? This is quite a competent luxury vehicle, and that largely comes from the changes Acura made over the Civic Type R. The biggest difference you're going to notice is the suspension. Just like the Honda Civic Type R, there are 3 different drive modes for the Integra Type S, each with their own suspension setting, although everything is a step down in stiffness over the Civic Type R. So the Type S's most aggressive mode, Sport Plus mode, is comparable to the Civic's Sport mode, its middle mode. The Type S's Sport mode is comparable to the Type R's Comfort mode, and the Type S's Comfort mode is softer sprung than anything offered on the Civic Type R, and it really is a good ride. Inside, there are more changes to make the Integra Type S a more luxurious vehicle. While the Type R had aggressive bucket seats, these seats are much softer, more supportive, are heated up front, and even power operated for the driver. You also have a lot more leather touch surfaces throughout the cabin, like on the steering wheel and on the gear selector, and this 16-speaker ELS Studio 3D audio system is also really good. Now, being based on the Honda Civic hatchback, you're going to find rear seat room quite similar, and indeed at 6'2", I have enough knee room, although headroom is a little tight with this sloping roofline, and it's also important to note that, like the Civic Type R, this Integra Type S is strictly a 4-seater with no middle belt. Instead, you get some plastic cup holders. Not every change has been to increase this car's luxury. The Integra Type S features an upgraded exhaust system, which leads to a 5-horsepower boost over the Civic Type R for a total of 320 horsepower. Pound-feet of torque remains the same at 310, and it sounds better than the Civic Type R. Driving the Acura Integra Type S, the biggest thing you're going to notice over the Civic Type R is that it is more premium in here. The layout is very similar to Civic Type R, just like the regular Integra. Acura didn't change much of the interior design. Acura also didn't remove any sound deadening over the regular Integra, as Honda did from regular Civic to Civic Type R to reduce weight reductions. You also get this really nice 16-speaker ELS Studio 3D audio system. You have dual zone climate controls, which are automatic, and CarPlay takes up the full screen just like on the Civic and the regular Integra. So overall, it's quieter in here. There are more premium finishes, there are more comfortable seats, and just an overall more luxurious atmosphere. And then there's the suspension, which is the biggest difference I notice while driving the Integra Type S over the Civic Type R. It is noticeably softer sprung. I'm driving in comfort mode right now, which is a drive mode that the Civic Type R has, except in the Civic Type R, the suspension tuning for comfort mode is comparable to the Integra Type S's sport mode, meaning this car's comfort mode is softer than anything the Civic Type R offers, and it is really compliant. It's supple, it manages all the imperfections in the road quite well, and it does feel very premium, and it's really nice to just kind of daily drive in this setting. The exhaust is also a lot quieter. You get really light steering, so if you are looking for a performance hot hatch that is also super easy to live with on a day-to-day basis, I would say this Integra Type S is really good at that because of this comfort mode and the soft suspension and just easy dynamics of this mode. But I don't really like driving this car in comfort mode, not because it's bad, but that's not what I want from this car. Flick it up into sport mode and then flick it up into Sport Plus mode, and you'll experience what I have been experiencing because this is how I've been driving this car. Sport Plus mode also firms up the steering and makes it nice and heavy, and most noticeably, it makes the exhaust sound really good. This is when it's the loudest and when it will crackle and pop the most, and where you'll really notice its improvements over the Civic Type R. Now, even in Sport Plus mode, which makes this car feel really good and does remind you that this is a hot hatch, you can tell it is a little muted still. It is still a little reserved, a little just more sophisticated than Civic Type R. So if you are looking for the most aggressive hot hatch from Honda, the Civic Type R is going to be slightly more aggressive, even though it has a little less horsepower. In R mode, the suspension is firmer, and you're just going to get a little more of that raw feeling that Acura has kind of dialed back a little bit because this is a luxury vehicle. Now, this car is really uniquely positioned in the auto industry. There are no other luxury hatchbacks on sale in the US. This Acura Integra is the only one. Audi no longer sells an A3 hatchback, BMW doesn't sell any, Mercedes doesn't sell any, Lexus no longer makes the CT. So this is the only one, and which also means this is the only hot hatch from a luxury automaker in the US. Really, I think this car's closest competitor would be the Mazda 3 hatchback. That is a very premium vehicle, but emphasis on premium. It makes 250 horsepower in its most powerful setting with premium fuel, 227 without premium fuel. But being a Mazda and having only 250 horsepower, this car is not as hot nor as luxurious as this vehicle. And so it is fun to see Acura kind of delve into a category that no one else is competing in. So that's the Acura Integra Type S. Well, it's not quite as aggressive as the Honda Civic Type R. In day-to-day life, it is much easier to live with, yet it's still so much fun to drive. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.